G'day, mate, and welcome to another JD stream. Yep, this is another stream direct from Twitch. Of course, the URL is on the screen, where I stream every weekend. I stream every weekend at, well, the times shown on the screen as well, because, you know, we pay the editors big bucks around here. I just want to thank you for sitting back, hopefully enjoying the stream. And don't forget, if you want to find more content, you can find me on my main channel. That is, well, JD Plays. Just go to YouTube, type in JD Plays. You'll find the channel. If not, there's always a link down in the description. But with that out of the way, I'll let you enjoy, well, past JD's live stream. All right, Mojo.
Yes?
Mojo.
Hello.
Mojo. Friday Facts. Do you know it's been 10 years since Friday Facts number 1?
No, I didn't know that.
Cool.
There's a random bit of trivia for you.
Yep. Also, you might notice that, you know how you had to do some train blueprints?
Yeah.
Your life got way harder.
Oh, I noticed.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
Did you notice?
Yep.
There's a line at the end, or near the end. Let me just find it again.
Okay, so we got Friday Facts number 1, which was 10 years ago. Line at the end. As always, looking for feedback. You're about to elevate.
Further up. So, where you and your mail?
I
where
mail?
is
I
it?
didn't send you mail.
I heard an Outlook ding.
That's probably somebody else. I'm going to go with BV because he has a Mac, and Macs have been told are great and awesome, except his microphone's open all the time. BV, did you just get mail?
Probably.
All the elevator rails will only be available with the expansion executable.
Yes.
The technology can be researched using production science packs without the need to go to space or any other planet. So production science is now on the home planet.
Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
Dusty Nat, thank you for the follow. Elevator rails be one of the standalone official mods next to Quality and Space Age. So it's sounding like Space Age is a mod.
Yep, that was already known.
Yep, Quality is a separate mod.
Quality is a separate mod, confirmed now.
And Elevator Rails was the third mod.
There's a third mod.
Yeah.
So they're all separate mods, part of the package.
Yeah.
Because they never elaborated that Quality was part of the expansion or not. Or at least I don't remember it saying it was part of it's going to be an optional... Actually, if they did say it was an optional add-on, potentially they meant it was going to be a mod. An official expansion mod.
It was part of Space Age and in the new executable, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be in the executable for it to actually work.
6, 5. And...
Oh, you mean whether it was actually disableable as a mod versus just don't do the research?
I honestly expect it to be disabled as an option, as part of the whole expansion. I didn't expect it to be a mod. Yeah, it is exclusively part of the expansion. Yeah, so it's only part of the expansion. What I didn't realize is
only.
It would be a separate mod. I was expecting Space Age to be a single mod, and then obviously have sub options in that mod to turn things on and off, like production. And now, yes.
Yeah. Didn't expect it to be part of a separate standalone mod. So I wonder if that's the appeasement, is making it a mod.
They moved
There is no mod settings in base game functions.
Yeah. Huh?
I mean, yeah.
It would be weird having mod settings in a core game mod, effectively, of Space Age.
But there's mod settings.
If it appears as a mod, then it would appear as mod settings.
But doing it as a mod is so much neater, isn't it? Because it's so much neater to turn it off as an actual mod if you're already doing that for Space Age.
Yeah.
Versus enabling Space Age mod, but then turning off Quality, or what happens if you want Quality without Space Age? You'd have to have the Space Age mod enabled, but turn off the Space Age content to then get the Quality feature.
Yeah.
Kind of interesting, because it means that the logic for it is all in the executable, but then you need can turn off and on the mod.
Yeah, it falls into the weird territory. Definitely into the weird territory. Yeah.
And it's very, it means you could, someone could quite easily plug in their own variation of it. You could have some fun with that.
Yeah. Well, we've already agreed that you're going to be doing the blueprints, and Muppet's going to be inventing the loop-to-loop rail.
Oh yeah, we do need to get something like a programmable speaker mod. Maybe even take the one that I have, which already has the goose honk in it, and add the roller coaster tycoon scream.
Oh god.
So every time a train goes down the elevation,
God.
trigger the speaker.
God. God. So loop to loop, and the corkscrew. Yep. They're gonna be Muppet's first jobs.
I'll save it for later. The other points that I have written down.
No, let's go with, where is the T junction? Some friends coming to say hi. Remember, what's the other one? Sweet Transit?
Yes.
Yes. They also implemented bridges a long time ago.
I thought they came with bridges.
I think they were limited to wood only, so they added steel and concrete.
Yeah, but it was the functionality was always there.
Yeah, which is one of those weird fundamental things that was just... is that the Genius Mojo? That is the Genius Mojo who I use for every single rail blueprint. Except for this abomination.
Right now.
This abomination.
Which one? No, there's another abomination.
The high throughput queuing T junction. No. No.
It's really high throughput.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll do a lot of throughput.
Yeah.
It'll do more when there's elevated rail.
Oh yeah, you could double the throughput. Because you could have one stacked on top of the other.
Yep.
JD's turned into a Chewbacca.
Yep. Yep. Oh. Yep. There's a bit of rail just sticking out to it. Okay.
I had to make it a tile wider, didn't I?
It's fine.
I'm talking about
It's a catch point.
bit of
catch points
rail just sticking out. That's the catch for the people that drive manually. Yes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's catch points.
Can't wait for the turbo junctions from City Skylines. What the fuck's a turbo junction?
Oh, that's not that turbine junction.
Yes.
So
it
they're
is.
roundabout.
Oh, that's an old one.
Huh? Giant
Turbo
toilet
roundabouts
bar?
are awesome. I made a 5-lane turbo roundabout on one of Will's maps before.
What? Okay. You're horrible people. No, but Sweet Orange
There's a
Bunny.
link for you.
Sweet Orange Bunny. I got a link. Sweet Orange Bunny did point out that we're going to end up with the... What? No, I don't have a link.
In Twitch chat.
In
You know, the thing
Twitch
you never
chat.
read.
Because I'm looking at Discord. What? 6-directional semi-diverging turbine interchange. Oh God!
And you're gonna make that for trains in Factorio?
No, because you have a layer going over a layer. Factorio doesn't support that. Sorry. You'd have
With
to
a
come
mod tool at elevated rails.
up here to then go over this one to then hit the ground again, so these two could go over the top, to then go up again to go over this, to then come back down. Yep. The turbo turbine. You could only have one. You can only have a maximum of 2 elevations.
Sounds like a challenge.
Oh, you can make it. It's just going to be so massive that what's going to happen is going to build this thing as the center of your base, and then you're going to literally build your base in each one of these segments.
I mean, there are people that have done 8-way star junctions.
In Factorio?
in Factorio.
Well,
And that was the entire base.
Sweet Orange Bunny pointed out that we're going to have the city skyline people are going to come across and they're going to make clover leaves everywhere. Everything will be clover leaves. There will be clover leaves on the clover leaves with some clover leaves. And I said, no. What's going to happen is we're going to get the twisting diversion something interchange, the new one that they're so happy about.
Oh yeah, they'll do the diverging diamond.
That's
they love
the
so
one.
much.
Sounds like something people would have done. Built one of these in the middle of the base, and then built the whole base around it, and then had a giant train infrastructure that she couldn't use because there was no point. It was too big. Yes, that sounds like something people would have done. 100%. Hi, Sassy.
Do you know the funny thing is you can actually do those angles in the new rails because they're on 22.5 degrees from horizontal.
Well, it's not 22.5 degrees.
It isn't?
No, there was a whole conversation in Discord. What was it? 26 point something?
26?
22.61? Muppet?
I think it's 27, isn't it? 27 degrees? It's like half a tan.
Yeah, what does that translate to in English?
I have no idea. I don't do maths. I'm a
Half
coder.
A10. What is it, half A10 of?
It's a half A10. That's the whole phrase.
Or is it a tan half? I can't remember.
What's an A10?
Arctan.
It's a maths thing. It's a button on the calculator and you almost never press apart from in tests.
I've never heard of this
Cos
button.
and sin.
Oh, this is why I haven't heard of it. I failed that part.
Really? You never used
Arctangent.
Arctan.
Arctangent. Okay,
Yes, arctangent.
because I failed that part. Okay.
If you really want to stray off the path, then you'd use sec, CSSec, and cot. Or secant and cosecant and cotangent.
That's just a normal calculator.
You're gonna put something into it.
Sin, cos, tan, x. It was there.
Just open the Windows one.
Yeah, and Windows 1 and chuck it into scientific. Chuck it
Yeah.
into scientific.
Press L3. Open the Windows one, press L3.
Uh-huh, now what?
L3.
Scientific.
Yep. You guys got a delay. I've said now what? Yep. So, 0.5, and then how do I get
Change
this
it.
arctangent button?
Trigonometry.
And a 10. I got 10. How do I get arctan?
Return.
Just 10. Just 0.8. That's not it. That's not yep. Clear. 0.5. Spinzo, stop talking about work things. I watch this to relax and laugh at Jetty. Thanks. Have fun, love you. Bye, dear.
I mean, we're watching and laughing JD try to do trigonometry.
Yeah, I don't know how to do. Oh, damn, on a freaking calculator.
I mean, I know how to do it, I just don't know how to do it on the Windows calculator, because it's terrible.
26.56.
Why is it 26.56?
I don't know.
I don't understand how where this 0.5 even came from.
From Boss Kid. So he's probably right.
Yeah, probably. This is one of those things where I'm going to have to go away with a bit of paper
Blah 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 blah.
and a pen. Pen would be handy.
Nah, just write with your fingernail. You're fine.
Used to do that in exams. When in the reading time, use your fingernail to mark the paper. It's frowned on net these days.
Okay. Boss Kid, they're not 22.5 degrees. It's something close when measuring from curved, a rail, and something less close, but still close when measuring from a half diagonal rail. Curious how many people in the future will make a mistake in school saying R10 0.5. I know this value since it's the angle of a half diagonal rail in Factorio. That is 22.5 degrees. Yeah. These values are close enough to be considered good enough for a game purpose. They're not accurate. So, yeah, it's 26.56 degrees. Yeah.
Oh, I get it now.
Cool, because I don't, because I failed this section of maths. Yeah.
See, I didn't actually derive it from that. I just split the difference on the 45, assuming that they fit neatly in between the two.
But they don't fit in neatly between a 45 because the 45 got it. Because they moved the whole rail out by a tile or 2 tiles or whatever it was. You don't have a 45 anymore, do you?
Yeah, you still have 45.
Jay, show us the image of the 4-way. The 4-way what? Is that rated PG?
Yeah. They're still 45s. 90 45s and 20 somethings.
25.6. 26.5. I'll post again if you don't want to scroll Discord. You'd have to tell me, yeah, post again, because... Oh, Saran posted an image. What the fuck is... Oh my god. It's not even out yet.
Oh dear.
Oh my god!
That's just lovely.
The first Celtic knots here. See, I stopped using those because they're impossible to manual drive.
Well, technically now we've got the enhance. I already did. Now we've got the you can have multiple trails splitting off a single section. You're gonna have a problem that yes. You're gonna have a problem with manual driving because you might have multiple right-hand turns you can take at the same time. Would have been so pretty. Now I'm definitely off to bed. Yeah. Used to consider myself deep in the math, but I cannot fathom how 26.6 plus 26.6 equals 5. Oh, well, they're really easy. So it'll be 26.6, and then the opposite of... So then it'll be...
18.4.
What?
It's 26.6 plus 18.4 is 45.
Huh?
Because, yes.
Of course, yes.
I feel like Mojo can't maths. Okay, it's 18.4. Yep. New rail orientations. Up equals up rightish, right, rightish, right. Technically, up is just a simple up. But they've also said there's a hotkey button. Yeah, I couldn't get 18.4. Nah, not a hope. Not a hope. Not at this hour. Brain not work. So it's 26.6 and then the 45 minus 26.6 to give you the other angle.
To hold a protractor to the monitor now on one of the old pictures.
Why does the... But if your minimum angle is 26.6, how does somebody derive 18.4? Real easy. You rotate it and you cut some off. You take the train segment, you rotate it and you cut some off. That's how you get down to 18.4. That's how to do it.
I mean, I still don't know. I have a theory as to how we got the arctan to 0.5, but I don't understand how we got there.
No idea.
It means that they're not even divisions in between them, between the 45s. Probably for rendering purposes. It probably makes sense in Boss Kid's mind because he did do it all and did all the geometry. It all works out.
So, up 4 across 1. And then we have up 4 across 3. Then up 3 across 4. then up 1 across 4. So it's these two. These two are separate segments. So you can have this angle and then this angle is 2 separate angles. So 26 and 18 to give you 45. And it comes back to those control points things they were complaining about.
Oh, so it's actually
Was that
4.
5, not 4?
Huh? What? 5 not 4. What? 5 not 4 what?
Take
From end point to control point is 5 across, isn't it?
1,
The new
2,
rails
3,
is-
4,
is-
5, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. Sure. 5, 4 doesn't matter. But that's going to be why you have 2 separate angles. All right. Uh, 10.22.5 is a little bit more than 0.5. Around 0.557. Close enough. Yeah, it'll be a close enough scenario. And helped by the fact that Factorio has the 45-degree offset viewing angle, right? It's going to mean that visually it looks the same. Visually, it's going to look like a 45-degree, each one of these, even though they're not. Like we looked at these last week. They didn't look anything but 45. Even Mojo commented they looked better. They looked smoother. They looked, cleaner overall. But then one of these is 26 and the other one's 18. They're 2 entirely different angles.
As I say, I'm going to hold a protractor to it later.
Well, you got to have the control points. You'll have to take this image and then you'll have to overlay a grid on top of it. So then you can take your protractor out and measure it. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you also got all these you'll have to check. You'll have to decide which one of these is a 26 and which one of these is an 18. So the center of the rail is always the upper right
that
corner of
one's
the
18.
grid square. That makes more sense as to why it's off.
In fact, the one from vertical, it looks like it's 18 from vertical and then 26 from horizontal. That's my guess. Bye-bye.
They moved tighter. So
Yeah, the old one's a smaller radius. Ba-doing.
it's BV. It's BV. It's BV and the wonderful Max. The longer piece is the lower angle.
The in-between angle, yeah.
So
And if you look at the picture of with the 4 in the middle, the bottom right one looks like it's 18 degrees from vertical. And then the top left one looks 18, above that one. That's the curvy one. I'm looking at the straight one.
the straight one?
The straight one in the middle of the circle of circles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That looks like it's 18 degrees.
Oh, of course, because we're going to have odd ones for the straights as well.
So the ones that are off vertical look like they're 18 degrees, and then it'll be 22.6 for the others, for the off horizontal ones.
I do have a Factorio's like, let's bring Trig into this. No. This all came from Boskit, one of the devs, saying, so somebody said, would it count as blasphemy to doubt they're actually 22.5? And Boskit answered in Discord, they're not 22.5. They're off.
Hello,
That's one
my
of those minor
friend.
things that
Stay a
we didn't pick
while
up
and
on.
listen.
Rieta. Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, it's one of those minor things that we didn't pick up on at all.
It's something that I would have discovered as soon as I started making blueprints.
I don't think you would have, because they'll still tile. I think as you rotate them, they'll tile.
Yeah, they will. It's just that the difference in the angle will accumulate over time, over distance.
I don't think they will. I think they'll swap out your different angle points, your two different pieces at 2 different degrees as you rotate the blueprint.
If you have one of the in-between angles and then a length of straight, eventually, because it's 26 degrees instead of 22 degrees, eventually it'll end at a different place.
Oh, you're doing long straights on the different
Yeah.
diagonals, are you?
If
Yeah,
you
there's
do
any straight on on that diagonal, eventually it will diverge from where you think it's going to be.
yeah, I guess. I guess if you're doing very, very long straight sections, right? But you'd already have a blueprint at 26 degrees and at 18 degrees, so you'd already have 2 separate blueprints depending on which slightly not straight angle you're going at. Yes?
Something like that.
But if we say the top 2 are the 18s, doesn't matter what it is or isn't, I'm willing to bet if you take this blueprint and you rotate it 90 degrees, it'd put the 18s here, and then when you rotate it again, no, it'd swap out the 18s for 26s when you rotate it. And then when you rotate it down here, it'd put in 18s again, and then rotate it here, it'd put in 26s again.
So yeah, it'll work out if you flip it in either direction. Because as long as the lesser angle is vertical and the longer angle is horizontal, it'll always flip correctly.
RIP grid-based blueprints. Grid-based blueprints are out because roundabouts, you cannot fit a roundabout and get on and off a roundabout inside a or a chunk. You can do a grid-based, but you can't do them chunk aligned anymore.
Thankfully, mine aren't grid-based.
Yours are grid-based, but not chunk-based.
Yeah, or technically it has its own grid, which is defined by 4 cargo wagons.
Yeah. It's not like that. It would be straight to half in either orientation, the 18s, and then half to 45 is 26. The other way rotated is still the same. Everything
doomed.
Yeah. Minor grid. If they are chunk aligned, you're screwed. If you are aligned to your own grid, you're fine. If you're aligned to the world's grid, i.e. chunks, you're screwed. The trick with 18 or 26 straight rails, they always have to end on a grid center point. Thunder. You're overthinking this, okay? All you need to do, okay, is wait until Mojo publishes new blueprints. That's all you gotta do. Okay? That's all you gotta do. He'll start streaming, okay, when Factorio 1.2 2.0 comes out, okay? You swing by his streams, you say hello.
2.2?
1.22, yep, 2.0, yep. in 2 years, glass eye. 2 years.
31.
2 years, that's that thorough underestimation. Okay, it's gonna be like 4 years down the track. Okay, Mojo will go grey by then, but that means he'll be wiser, and then he can make better blueprints, and then he can swing by his streams. But he streams in the mornings whilst I'm at work. Then I hope you have your creative ideas written down beforehand, and you can dump them in his chat whilst he's streaming, whilst you're at work from your phone. So you can provide him moral support and sub at the same time to make sure you get the highest quality rail blueprints that will exist, because he'll also now have to do them for the upper grid in the sky. And please don't make an interchange. Please don't make a spiral interchange. Like
Mojo.
this. Oh my god.
You're no longer going to need to do landfill for straight track, because elevated track goes over water.
Yes. Oh, you still need to for ground level.
Yeah.
So that won't change. So because of the divergence, like this is expansion only, I need to keep the original one still base game compatible. So no elevated rails in the base ones.
He'll put landfill underneath it anyway, because it takes half a second.
Yeah, I'll do it anyway.
Yeah. And the elevated rails only need the landfill under the supports. What is that? That is what happens when Saran starts playing in Photoshop. And yet I can't get him to do simple jobs for me. At all. Yep.
You made that in Photoshop.
I don't know, probably.
It's from the dev Discord. Or devs posted it in Factorio Discord, I should say.
Oh, okay. All right. He was the one that was going to cut up these images and make us a mod so we can play with the Factorio train tracks before they exist.
Oh, that's a real image.
Yeah.
Oh, Code Green got permission, did he? Oh, cool.
What we need to do is have a look very carefully at all the screenshots in this Friday Facts to see if there's anything that they've put in there that they haven't talked about yet.
Like the fact that
Easter egg.
the fact that the trains change colours.
Some of that.
They change colours?
Or a hidden Easter egg.
Yeah, they changed colours.
They change colours, Mojo. They change colours. This train, and this train. This
As
one
they come in
changes
and out.
as it leaves. When it gets halfway up this bridge, and this one changes colour as it leaves the station.
You don't think it's just a shadows of light, do you?
Oh yeah,
not-
blue to brown,
it's not
blue to
the
brown,
thing-
and blue to white. Yeah, it's definitely a shading issue.
Oh.
They
Yeah,
change
you-
colours.
Oh, yeah, they do actually legitimately change colours.
Oh,
Isn't
they-
it just the video
Maybe,
transition.
maybe it's changing colour to the colour of the station it's going to.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Can you do that currently?
No.
I think there might be a mod that does it.
Oh no!
are
Well, this is
mods
space
that do it.
game. This is space game.
Right, let's look at that.
I predict that they finally did what Mojo wanted, where you could add 10 trains to a set route,
So,
and they've given us the ability to add conditions to change colour to blup when leaving a station.
from the looks of things, that iron ore train changed into a copper ore train.
Oh.
What iron ore train changing a copper ore train?
I mean, it was
Yeah,
already
the
had
top
a...
one.
It's coming to the station, or leaving the station.
Leaving.
Whatever.
It's leaving.
It's gone
Well,
from blue to
actually,
orange. I
upside
don't care.
down, yes, it is coming into the station.
It actually changes multiple times.
Yes.
It's a magic train.
So I'm willing to bet they've given us conditions that we can change train colours, and I'm willing to bet as well, if they've put this much of trains already, they're
Or
going to have set it up so we can have. I want 10 trains on this route, and if I change
Yeah,
one of them, all of them change.
There's a blue one that changes to orange, and then there's another blue one 2 tracks down that changes to white.
Yeah, top one and the bottom one.
maybe they just get rusty. Maybe after after
Blue to white is a interesting rust. Disco trains instead of disco sites. Yes.
I
all
think
the
I
way.
could just be right though. It changes colour depending what station it's going to. Like this one's gone from what iron ore to
Sure.
Steel.
Sure. But
Yeah.
but they have added the ability for you to change the colors on the train with automation. Has to be set up. I don't think it'll be from the station you're going to, because that is stupid. Okay, setting up according to conditions of the train.
It might be a condition you put into the train that says set colour to the,
Yep, that's what it'll
the
be.
train.
That's
train.
what it'll be.
Like, it'll take the train stop's colour, but it'll be a condition in the train
Choose
to
to
change
use
it.
substations. They're not just power poles. Substations where? Here.
At the station. See, there's a million substations there.
Yeah. Do you notice that on the island of train intersections? Island of train intersections. Island
I
of train
love that one.
intersections.
it's further down.
Island of train intersections. There is one substation powering the radar.
Yes.
Don't
Yeah.
question where it gets power. It gets power, okay, because when you rub a large piece of iron past a coil of copper, okay, it induces an electric field. So see how the train's going over the top? That's a large piece of iron. See how they're accumulators? They're made of large spools of
Accumulators
copper.
are accumulating the charge as they go past.
Yeah, exactly. And that powers the
So
radar.
they're charging the.
Yeah, confirmed.
Hey, free energy.
Yeah.
Well, technically, it comes from the nuclear power of the train fuel. So it's a nuclear-powered radar via the power of wireless electricity. Don't question.
Can
it.
we? Can we? What's the word? Utilize this in a much grander scale. Just have a train running around in a circle with a load of accumulators in it.
Above the nuclear reactors, yes.
Yes.
Did you notice the video, the race station exits change color on the track? Wonder if there's something, or is the video editing it? Cree's Nest? That's literally what we just covered. Electric trains? No, they've got smoke coming out of them. Not electric. They've got smoke coming out of them. Yep, this train changes color, and this one.
Wait, do those ones at the bottom change colour or
Nope.
not?
Having a rail transmitting power would be nice. No, it's not the rail transmitting power. It is the large piece of iron moving across copper coils, i.e. the ones that are in the accumulators that create power. It's how power is made in real life. You take a large piece of iron, you rub it past a coil, and it induces a magnetic field, which then creates power. They said they aren't docking videos. Every video is just captured in-game. Yep.
Wait, have a look at that other train one that's got the
Narrow that down when it's all about trains.
it's got the I believe it's got sulfuric acid and petroleum being delivered on it. The one with the silos or fluid wagons on it.
What, huh? This one. Welcome to Stream Delay.
Oh yes, the red green.
No.
It's got LED indicators next to it.
What is?
So that's just wires and signals. That's nothing.
No, not that one. It's a different one.
Oh, that.
Keep looking, keep scrolling down. Or
That's
up,
the
rather.
bottom. You don't get any more scroll down. There is no other fluid wagons.
That's the one, that's the one.
Oh, that's 5
Yeah.
seconds ago. Cool. Cool. Which one is it? It's the one with the what?
One with the fluid wagons.
That one.
That one.
Yeah, what about it?
Do they change colour?
No! No! I looked at the Friday facts 6 hours ago. Hang on. Yeah, 6 hours ago. No, they don't change colour.
Yep.
Bottom right. What's in the bottom right? Which bottom right? We got to narrow down bottom right. The train changey color part bottom right. I got the train changey color bottom right. Also the top right. The two trains change color. We've also got ads coming up in 26 seconds, which means I'm going to take a bio break and then we're going to do a Friday facts. Yeah. The only other thing I do want to point out is over the water, the signals are on the tracks. Confirmed. They're on tracks. They're attached to the tracks. Great. That solves that problem. But train signals required to be on land? I don't know. This is the only other picture we've got to go from where this signal is on landfill. So I don't know if signals still need to be on land if you're using land tracks. If you're using air tracks, you can obviously attach them straight to the tracks.
Well, we established that this is a expansion exclusive component, so as I said before, the rules of standard ground level tracks still apply. Like, they haven't changed.
Yeah, but they're already changing some stuff for base game. Like train tracks in 1.2 are no longer going to be supported in the old method.
Yes, well, that's the new geometry.
Unless someone makes a mod that has...
The northbound rail has a chain signal on landfill that isn't extended a tile. That's left-hand tracks, never mind. Yeah, that's what I thought.
The one thing I'm interested to learn, are we allowed to run and walk on the raised tracks?
Sure.
That was a
just
point that I was
wait
going
until
to
train
raise
hits you.
when it actually
Varex
starts.
wrote in the forums that it's not allowed.
I'll be back in like a minute.
Go do your thing.
Because some people said we weren't, some say we are.
I really want Exterminator to test this.
What, stand on the railway track as a train runs him over?
Yeah, or walk up the elevator rails.
Players can't walk up elevator rails.
At
Dev's
least the
confirmed it.
animation for when the
Okay.
train goes down the ramp is right. They did alright on that.
I'm just posting JD's effing Factorio.
Yep, it's also pinned in the official
Like,
Discord.
what
It also says about trains can be pushed painfully slow, apparently, if a train runs out of
Oh,
fuel.
I lost the king of the hill.
Aww. So biders
the
cannot
plan.
walk on elevated rail. Players cannot walk on elevated rail. Can anything other than rolling stock walk on elevated rail? No. What happens when a player tries to get out of a train on
Oh.
elevated rail? He lands on the ground. What if there is no ground? They can't leave the... Oh, okay, so it's got the logic to not get out in
We'll
the middle
learn
of
to
nowhere.
swim.
That would work.
So let's see. Do you think the elevated rails will require stone bricks? Oh.
It looks suspiciously like refined concrete. The base
Yeah.
of it has that refined concrete look to it.
Oh, what was the refined?
Yeah.
Probably iron sticks.
Mm.
Oh, it was
Steel.
iron ore.
Rails, steel,
Copper.
sticks. Oh yeah. I was originally I was thinking.
Oh.
Oh.
Is that how those accumulators are getting energy?
Huh?
Do the overhead rails, are they the equivalent of a big power pole?
Don't think so.
Do they transmit energy?
It's not an electric railway, is it?
Who? What? Electric railway? No, there's no electric railway.
Yes, but could that be how that radar was getting energy?
Via electric
the
railway?
train-
No, because the train has smoke.
No, but there's the guardrails, so that's two wires.
Uh-huh.
So they trans.
Or are the trains whizzing past it creating such what's the word? A force of wind that's just spinning the radar as they go past.
And then because the radar's
Pretty good.
spinning, it's charging the accumulators, right?
Yes.
Wow.
I've been
Who
kicked
knows?
because I'm AFK from the server. Well, there you go. What? I don't have to mute my own server. Cool.
You get kicked from your own server?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was an option. I trains over water will annihilate biter bases with impurity. They will, but then we'll have flying biters. Problem solved.
Yeah, we got the
Oh,
brain biters
God.
already confirmed.
Okay.
So that means turrets have to shoot upwards now.
Yes.
Yes, but it's all 45-degree offset thingamajiggy bob. You're not going to notice it. Rayetta, thank you for clicking the follow button. I missed that. I apologize. They're annoying. We're going to do Friday Facts. Where is the special setting for Friday Facts? Cool, that turns off everything. Mojo?
Yes.
We're going to go do Friday Facts.
All right.
Oh.
I've got to go out the door in an hour. You want a video? You get a video. Shush. Done. Okay.
I mean, it's not like we spent the last 45 minutes just rambling on.
Hey, shush. It's
Haven't
fine.
even started yet.
Mojo,
Yes.
don't come to me with this sensible stuff prior to the Friday Facts, okay? Do that during the Friday Facts, and that way the videos don't end up 50 minutes long.
I think we might have saved time in the end.
How?
Well, all the questions have been put out now. We could just answer them.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So I have a list of from Muppet because I opened it. I have a list of everything the FAQ of what you can and can't do with rails.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, Muppet. I didn't get that DM.
Oh, it's in your Discord.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just saw it. Okay, elevated rails FAQ. Can biters work on elevated rails? No. Can player? No. Can anything other than rolling stock work on elevated rails? No. What happens when a player gets, he lands on the ground? What is on the ground? Then they can't leave the train. Oh, no drowning. Trains can be pushed painfully slowly by the player if the train is out of fuel now. But if they're out of fuel on an elevated rail, you're fucked. Right. 20 degrees straight line or every 90 degrees angle. Okay. Can you deconstruct pillars current spotting rails? Yes, deconstruct rails pillars then last to be deconstructed. Can rebels construct? Yes, and they're smart enough to do it in the right order. Can unless you're using Clonan's bots, which is stupid to start with. Can you change levels whilst in the rail planner? Yes. What happens if the pillar is destroyed? The spotter loader rails and rolling stock will get destroyed as well. Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that answers all the FAQ questions. All right. Okay. Train refueling is not being really addressed. Make sure it's not an artillery train that is so far out to water that you can't get to one end of it. Yep. Yep. All right. You good, Mojo? You happy to start with Friday Facts number 1?
Yep. I should open it actually first.
The URL's really hard. So no Krakens? No Krakens that are so long that they spend their whole time at sea, Stinson. Okay? So eventually they're going to have sections on land. I rephrase that. They've got to have locos on land. So one end of the train always has to be on land. So that means either make Krakens longer or make sure it hits land more often. So try JD at sea on a Kraken, yes. A new mod idea for Muppet falling damage when exiting elevated train. Yes, yes. Yes, you're right. You got Friday Facts number 1 open?
Yep.
Okay,
Posted by Thomas.
Because I'm not covering it. I'm just mentioning it. With the massive 0.7 release. And we're on what? 378. And we should have 350. No.
Oh god.
520 plus Friday Facts by now if we'd done 10 years straight. Bridges randomly fail and destroy the train. Yeah, we've already had that conversation.
Yep. Same. That'll be from the same crowd that likes robot attrition.
No, it's just plain Muppet integration. You can randomly remove things, like belts and pipes and stuff, and because it happens via Lewis scripts, you could probably remove things out of order, like the support that holds up the train tracks, which would then, I assume, make the train tracks all fall and all the trains on them at the same time. Yeah, it's already been suggested for Muppet. Cool. All right, you good, sir?
Yeah, I mean, as I say, like, the people, there are people out there that like robot attrition, so why not train attrition?
Because people are stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. I hate robot attrition.
Cool. Because that way I don't have background noise. All right. G'day, mate, and welcome to Friday Facts. Friday Facts number 1 with me, JD, and the wonderful Mojo. How you doing for our first Friday Facts?
Hi.
It's been a while. Because we're covering Friday Facts number 1. Yep, we're starting right at the start. We're going to do the whole series continuous, like start to end as a podcast. What do you reckon?
Yep, sounds good. Just go from 1 to 378.
Yeah. Which is number 1 where they just finished the 0.7 release 10 years ago today. Well, 10 years ago, 2 days ago. Yeah.
2 days ago, yes.
Because we've had 10 years of Friday Facts. That's a lot of Friday Facts. That's 520 Friday Facts. I think we're a little bit short because we're on Friday Facts number 378. And
yes,
choo-choo trains.
Because we missed an entire year's worth of Friday Facts.
It's over a year, Mojo. Just over a year.
Yeah, it's maybe a year and a half, something like that.
It's fine, but now we have trains on another level. We have Friday Facts on another level. Yep. So
who cares about the days? You've got the elevated track.
Yeah, but we've got a Friday Facts by V. Yep. Which they talked about. We went and fixed the trains, and we spoke about those last week. And we decided to change the rail shapes and rail sizes and rail things. So they wanted over or under multi-level crossings, but bridges or tunnels. So they already have experience going under, so why not do it under? And that leads a few problems, which is why they probably didn't suggest to go under. So you can't have curves underground. It would be very hard to put signals underground. If a train runs out of fuel, you can't go underground to fix it. Or maybe you could, and then have to add that.
Manual drive, a very heavy train. That'll fix it.
Well, you'd have to put fuel in the train, so you'd have to walk into the tunnel underground to then put fuel on the train to then get a ride out. But then, can we just build a train tunnel under the biter's base and pop up on the other side and just not deal with them? Yeah, that would be a
As I
pain in the
say,
butt.
just get a 416.4 or something. That'll clear the train that's
Just drive it through and just remove the train the other way. Yeah, yeah. But yes, if we can walk in a train, therefore the biters and the robots should be able to as well. If the tunnel can have curves, how can you tell which tunnel entrance connects to which exit when looking at it from the outside? This is why underground belts only go in a straight line and they don't curve. Same with underground pipes, because otherwise it gets really confusing, because there are mods that do it, but oh my god, does it get confusing. Tunnels over water don't quite feel right, which is funny because people do say that you use an underground not to go under a patch of water, but go over a patch of water.
It's like the saying that there are more planes in the ocean than submarines in the sky.
Okay, Mojo. Yep.
It's not wrong.
Yep. Okay. Drawing tunnels will be surprisingly difficult, as we need to do some extensive masking. In fact, that Factorio isn't currently capable of, and more problems. So they drawn on the idea of elevated rails. Much more potential. Drawing upper layers certainly won't be easy either. Also, you probably want to boldly see all of your trains their full glory instead of hiding them somewhere in a cellar. I don't know. I've seen some people's train tracks. There are some people's train tracks that should be in the cellar. So it's a simple idea, right, Mojo? Rail ramp, an elevated rail, and a support. 3 things.
Easy.
Yeah.
Simple.
Ramp, support, elevated rail. It's done. It's done. It's implemented. It's great. We'll have it next week. Yup. So we have elevated rails.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful elevated rail with springs and everything, and refined concrete and steel. By the looks of it.
I'm hoping the springs move. I'm hoping it has a bit of wobble on it, because they do say we thought about the visual design with Albert and Arendelle. We wanted the ramp to be heavy and industrial, but at the same time not be perfectly stable and rigid. After multiple iterations, we had arrived at this combination of solid concrete base combined with an upper metal structure. And I do want to mention that we can tell from the artwork, I guess, from the metal base, that's refined concrete.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, we now have a use for refined concrete, apart from just pasting the whole world with it to run faster.
Apart from you mean painting the world with refined concrete isn't enough already?
No, look, it's not. It's not. Okay, refined concrete is an honest status image. Okay, it's very important because refined concrete costs iron and steel. So it is much more expensive. Also, one of the recipes somewhere along the line, you go from having 10 pieces just to 1 piece. So it thoroughly costs a whole lot. And then I've done a number of playthroughs now where we have Tefloncrete, which also requires lube. So now you're adding petroleum products to your concrete, and you go from 10 refined concrete to a single piece of Tefloncrete. Sure, it does have a 200% movement bonus, which means legs suddenly become less useful, but it's very expensive, and it's a status symbol. Yep, the whole map needs to be refined concrete. Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The concrete base clearly shows where the ramp touches the ground, whilst in contrast, the metal parts has lots of holes, so you can see the entities placed behind the ramp most of the time, because these things are massive. The metal is painted red, mostly the only other red entities in Factorio are related to trains, which now means it's confirmed you should only load and unload a train with longhand inserters, because then you can get...
Makes sense. So pre-version 12,
yep.
Double long inserter used to be or pre-stack inserter, I should say. Double long inserter was the fastest way to load and unload trains.
So yes,
so it's not inaccurate.
Yes, it's still used all the time nowadays. If you've got a custom train loading from request chests,
yes,
because you can fit more choices of items in. So yes, we have very large elevated rails. The rail ramp is the longest entity of the game at 16 tiles and 4 tiles wide.
Boy.
Yeah, well, Rocket Solo is only 9 now.
Yeah.
So it's
9 by 9.
Massive. So you need to consider where and when to place it, and it can only rotate in 4 directions. So none of this 45-degree stuff, or the
no 45s,
or the other degrees, which will come back.
The in-betweeners.
You will
We're
come
not going to talk about that.
later.
Boy.
Later.
We're already
Later.
lost an hour with
Later.
that.
Later. We're going to cover it really brief later. The rail ramp is and then we have the rail supports. Follow the style of ramp, but with difference, we rotate it in 8 directions, which is sort of funny because it's in a 4x4, which is fine, except when you rotate it to one of the not 90-degree offsets, then it takes up slightly less space. Which does bring the question, if you put it down and you rotate it, the hitbox is going to keep changing. So if you put a power pole in one of the corners that appears and disappears, does that mean you just can't rotate it anymore? Or does it rotate and the power pole just does what power poles do, wooden power poles do, and that is crumble and fall whenever anything touches them like a car?
Or you can't do it anymore, but you used to throw them into you used to have the ceremonial throwing them into the steam power plant.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. They now have copper wire in them. They're no longer flammable. Don't ask. Same as wooden boxes that are put together with wood without nails. Are also, has a roughly 4x4. Don't know we did that one. And then we have a wonderful close up of our elevated rails. Now, Mojo.
Yes.
A couple of important things. You may have noticed there are signals on this.
There is, yes.
Floaty signals.
Well, they got the semi-floating. They've got their own little mechanism to attach to the side.
Yeah, they do. Not disagreeing. We're gonna notice that the chain signal has a different floaty connection point to the main line than the normal full signal.
Yes, it does.
Also,
it's a slightly smaller structure.
Yeah, because it's a slightly smaller signal. That's what she said. Also, you probably, and I need to go and look at the other images because it seems that if they're connected to a rail support, they have a different image again. And we're going to look at more of them in a second, but also there's a handrail. So the good news is you have a handrail. So, if you jump off the train whilst it's in the air, you can't. Because Dev said no.
Yeah. If it's over water. Only if it's over water.
But you can't walk on elevated rails, so you're going to fall to the ground.
Well, you can't walk on the elevated rails. This has been answered.
Yep.
But you can enter and exit. You just fall onto the ground.
Yep. So the handrails are no good for you, and you phase right through the handrails.
Yes.
Yep. So it's important.
Conversely, the biters can't walk on the handrails either.
That is true. That is true. Which brings us back to the whole tunnel thing where they said biters would have to walk through the tunnels. Biters don't have to walk through the tunnels because the devs have just decided that the biters can't walk through the tunnels or the bridges, and the players can't walk through the bridges either. Yep. So it's still not going to help you get across that lake unless you're in a train. But the handrails are absolutely useless, and I don't think they're going to keep a train on. Pretty sure a train's going to go right through that. Yep.
It'll keep a train on unless you put on the that mod that launches trains into the air.
Yeah, that'll go right through that handrail. Yep.
Yeah.
So yes, elevator rails can be built between ramps. They're held up by rail supports along the way. Can be constructed above everything else except tall entities. And they've named a rocket silo, a roboport, and a big electric pole with an etc. They didn't say nuclear reactor. So I want to build elevator rails above my nuclear reactor, because what could go wrong?
That's fine. I mean, it's not like trains can fall off.
Yeah, but they've got handrails. They won't fall off. They have the exact same rail shape as the new ground rails do, and signals can be attached to the elevated rails. There are fences which help visually distinguish the elevated rails from the ground rails, so you can see how they disappear on track crossings. Yeah, I can definitely see, track crossings and crossings of rails in general are going to be...
This picture very much highlights the usefulness of those rails. Yeah, that would get really confusing. I mean, it's an easy junction it's a simple junction. If you get more complicated, you're going to get confused.
Oh, we're going to get to more complicated in just a second.
Oh, yeah.
But they do have a T-junction, which is, everybody's built a T-junction, and for some reason this T-junction has a express lane, I guess, around the outside as well. But yeah, this is far higher throughput than what we've had previously. Just because you're removing a lot of intersection points where one train would have to stop or slow down for another. Now they only have to slow down or stop when they're merging back into the main line, I guess. Yeah, back into a single track. So yeah, this has been a requested feature for how long now, Mojo?
11 billion years.
Yeah, roughly, give or take. Yeah, and then we have
Exaggerating a little bit, but it's about right.
yeah, pretty much. I would take that answer. Yep. And then we have oh my god, train chaos. With the ramp being long, and since we have 2 layers, being a fully multi-level junction could get rather large, but the throughput potential is massive. It is worth noting that not just level separation that helps, also the fact we don't need chain signals, so we can shorten the distance between normal rail signals a lot, so we don't need to guarantee there's enough space for a train behind the junction. This is true. And this also leads to train chaos. Okay, I don't know. Now we're looking at this image. I don't know if all the red handrails are helping.
Oh, they're better than nothing. So So one of the points that came up when I was looking at this last night was that you need a programmable speaker with the Roller Coaster Tycoon's peep scream, and so you trigger the programmable speaker every time a train goes down the slope.
Yeah, you put a signal just beforehand when the train initiates the signal, which is on yellow, I believe. All right.
When it takes it.
Yep. That would be the point where the sound effect plays, and oh my god, that would get very old very quickly. But I can definitely see the appeal for about 5 seconds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I'd probably delete it. But yeah,
how about a goose honk?
Oh god. Oh, what do I have to work with? Handrails. I think it adds more confusion because with the raised rails, they have the shadow underneath them.
Yes.
So I don't know if they're super helpful. Apart from the good news is, Mojo, your brown game now has red mixed in with it.
We've been getting more and more red into the brown game as we go along.
Yeah.
Through the years.
Yeah. Which is just a slightly different shade of brown, right?
Yeah, I mean, brown is just a shade of red.
Exactly my point.
It's a strange color.
Yeah.
It's been studied to death.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out, because this is something that we don't have a clear answer on. There's a couple of things we don't have clear answers on, but we're getting there one Friday Facts at a time. They have said that obviously elevated rails have the signals attached to the rail point, i.e. you don't need to have physical ground underneath them because they go over the water. Yep, they go over the water. But we do have one rail signal here in the middle that's placed on what looks to be landfill beside the train tracks.
That's landfill, yes.
Yeah. But if we can attach a rail signal to a rail point in the air, then in theory you should be able to attach a rail signal to a piece of rail on the ground using the same complicated Factorio code, because we mentioned last week, does that mean if rail signals still need to be physically attached and have a space between it beside a rail or not? And
I haven't conclusively answered that.
It hasn't been conclusively answered. It's up in the air. Because definitely for elevated rails, the answer is no. It doesn't need a physical piece of land there. It just directly attaches the rail. So in theory, possibly, maybe.
My theory is that because the fundamental rules aren't changing, so you still need landfill as you always have.
But the fundamental rules are changing because we're changing the angles of the rails in version 1.2 2.0 DLC expansion.
Yes.
So
changing that.
If we are changing that fundamental rule for version 2.1...
that's just the angle. That's not how the signal appears in the world.
But true. But we're changing one thing that affects all of rails. So if we're changing one thing that affects all of rails and we're having, our compatibility version from 2 to 2.1, does that mean why not just do this other change as well? So then elevated rails and normal rails have the same consistency. That's the point I'm trying to get to. We're trying to have consistency between elevated and non-elevated. And I really would like just to not have to have physical land beside rails. It also means that those intersections and the things we were talking about last week that you couldn't signal, you could now signal, because you don't need a gap between the rails to physically put a signal down because it's now part of the rail.
These all sound like right-hand drive problems.
They are right-hand drive problems. Don't get me wrong. All right. Yes. Also, we should definitely point out the loading and unloading. So loading and unloading
you can tell the transport type open TTD player in the coming through here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
As soon as I saw this, that's a TTD thing.
100%. But it is so much more compact. It's so much higher throughput. way less chain signals. Far less chain signals, which is great. Also, the top train and the bottom train change colors.
Yes.
This
As
is
it goes
important.
up, it changes from the top one changes from blue to orange
Orange, brown.
or brown.
It's another
Brown
brownish
enough.
color. Be it red, orange, or brown. Yep. And the bottom one,
bottom one.
changes from blue to white.
It changes to white. That's not brown. I suppose it's washed out brown.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So yes.
Before it rusted.
It rusted to blue in Mojo's world. So it means a couple of important things. One, I'm assuming as we have like full conditions, empty conditions, we're also going to have a new condition like change train color to color as a condition.
My theory is that there's going to be an option to change to the target train stops color.
Why limit it to target train stops color? Why not just change color to?
It could be target train stop color or any color.
Yeah, and your standard RGB values. Yeah,
Probably both.
I'm expecting us just to have a free RGB value, open it up. Sure, they might link it to other train stations, etc., and you can do that change as well. But the white train changes very quickly, changes color very quickly, whereas the brown train seems to take a while to change. So I don't know. And I wonder if it also means you can say, hey, the color of your cargo, just change to that color. Which would, again, be interesting. Because a lot of people spend a lot of time color-coding their trains, and frankly, I just can't be bothered. They're all red. They can stay red. I have a black train for the one that goes and shoots things, and that's about it. Yeah.
And it turns white when it's out of ammo. It needs to retreat.
Maybe. Pulls up the white flag, turns tail, and runs. Yes. But I'm also wondering if we've had this change, and this is a future Friday fact. I'm predicting a future Friday facts. I think we're going to have the Mojo wish list where we can have a train circuit, I don't know, list.
Majigga.
Yeah, train to Majigga thing, all right, where you can have a train list and say, go to A, pick up iron, go to B, go to iron unload, and just set 10 trains to that list. And then if you update it to go from iron to iron 2 as well, then the same 10 trains are on the same list or on the same route. You don't have to manually change every one of them. Because again, there's a lot of open transport tycoon feels in the train logistics system of Factorio, and I'm pretty sure that's a feature in Open Transport Tycoon for a while now, right?
I don't know.
I
haven't played it in a long time.
I think it would be.
It hasn't really changed in a long time either. It hasn't really changed since like 2010.
I'm feeling it was a train route. You just add 10 trains to it. Whatever. I'm hoping it's added. All right. Yes. So then we have landfill and waterfill, I guess. So yes,
not landfill.
Not landfill.
Or it's water before and after landfilling.
Sure. Before and after, where the legs get slightly longer because they go under the water.
And the fish gets murdered.
Yeah, because we don't have land fish anymore. So yes, there's a very special patch that murders under that draws under the train, which is visible only in places where the ramps or supports touch water. So yes, we can definitely build these at sea, which is going to be great until all water goes green. And then we have a perfect example of, oh my god, who did this? In case you decide to route your rails through a lake, because why not? Islands can become opportunities for multi-level crossings, because we only have a ground level and upper level. There's no intermediate multiple levels. Yes. And the very important fact I need to share with you, Mojo, because this is the Friday Facts, is right here we have a bunch of accumulators that look like they're charging. Is that the charge? That's the charge, is it not?
It's charge or discharge.
It's one of the two.
One of the two.
But we have a single substation powering a single radar. And it has no external power sources. So I'm assuming, okay, because this is how real life works, that when you take a big chunk of iron and you move it past a coil of copper wire, you induce a magnetic field, which induces electrons, which then creates power. And we have
moving past the accumulators at high speed, so they accumulate charge, you're saying?
Yeah. The big chunk of iron being the train is accumulating charge in the accumulators, which is then powering the radar. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Sounds reasonable.
It is not a perpetual motion machine because the trains are not in perpetual motion. More importantly, they're powered by nuclear fuel or rocket fuel or coal or possibly by wood.
It's taking the energy from the train, so it's not perpetual motion.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
energy's coming from somewhere.
But we've been told that everything's been captured in game, so this has to be a legitimate screenshot, and this is
Yes.
exactly how it must be done.
It must be how it works.
Not via dev cheats. All right. So then, building something elevator can be done with a rail planner. Either you can press a keyboard shortcut to switch the destination layer, or you can start the rail planner on a ramp support, or elevator rail. Any guesses what the keyboard shortcut would be?
Don't know.
F, because I've got to
Maybe it. Oh,
get over that item. It's got to be F. F, because I've got to...
Or G.
Get over that item. No, G for underground. It's not underground. We said we're going
Could
above.
be F and G. F up, G down.
What? It's a toggle. F up to F down. To F... Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yes.
L? Yeah.
Logistics. Robo-logistics.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that.
But one day, Kovarex said, why doesn't the rail planner just snap to rail you're pointing at?
It's a question that we've asked for many years.
Many years. Yes. And now it does, thankfully.
So now it does, and which makes the rail planner 10,000 times less annoying, hopefully.
Much less annoying, but I still wonder. See, he mentions the word snap, which means in theory it should have sort of like a magnetic grip to it a little bit, so you should not have that situation where the mouse moves just one pixel and we get the loop-de-loops. Because now we have...
might get the loop-de-loops with the long runs, but it means that you snap it to it and it might actually do what you intend.
In the half a second between you thinking about clicking the button and actually clicking the button?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, also turning down your mouse speed might help with that.
It's not that high. Not that high. It's not that high to start with. It's just that last second wobble when I'm thinking about pressing the button. Yep. Because, yes, we have multiple degrees now, and now the rail planner is so much smarter, and oh my god. We can build over the factory.
Yes, most of the factory. You can't build over the big poles and the other things they mentioned.
But the rail planner is smarter now. We can just apply spaghetti, and it will work it out for us. We already have we already have that feature with underground belts. Do you remember how bad the spaghetti got? Because now you can just drag a belt, and even if you don't need to have 6 undergrounds in a row, because there's another single belt in the way or a rock or something, it'll just place it because that's the way it works. So you'd end up with all these little undergrounds going under one tile, whereas you could just have a gap and have an underground up and an underground down and so on and so forth. But the underground draggy belt thing doesn't do that for you. So, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a nightmare.
At least you can drive elevator rails over cliffs.
You can, yes. And
That's the one thing I
assemblers.
notice here is that there's like a little bit of a cliff. I mean, it is actually avoiding the cliff ends, but you could drive the because the cliff explosives are on another world now. You have to go to the second planet, so you can use the elevator rails to go over cliffs.
You know what? You can't.
You can't?
No, we're going to get to the next screenshot in 1 second, but I do notice they're making quality modules here. Just want to point that out. Yeah, not quality lasers, just quality modules. And quality
Why
speeds.
would you make quality modules?
Quality prods. Why not make qualities? Anyway, yes, so the rail planner can offer make a fine connection you wouldn't even expect to be possible. We can memorize it and play with, which can lead to, oh my god, spaghetti. Oh boy.
It's mesmerizing. It reminds, these pictures, and the one with the junction on the lake reminds me of the AI in the original Transport Tycoon Deluxe, where it would just build single, point-to-point train networks and just completely intertwine them with each other, like this.
Yeah, it would. But, yeah, I'm looking at this, and apart from the giant raised...
was it Locomotion? The one that Chris Sawyer made in the early 2000s. It was also like that.
I think it was Locomotive, one of the two.
Something like that.
He's now using the power of Google. But
Locomotion.
The one we've got here with all the spaghetti of trains upper and lower, none of them are going over cliffs.
That doesn't mean it won't go over cliffs.
I'm looking at the giant belt that comes in on the left and spirals down and then goes back up. I feel like that could have probably taken a more direct route and gone over cliffs, but didn't, because cliffs are in the way. I'm pretty sure cliffs are going to be a problem. I'm pretty sure there's not going to be going over any cliffs. Yeah. Okay, cliffs just got more annoying. We're just going to turn them off. It's fine.
I don't see how they could. It could be aware of cliffs.
Hang on, Mojo.
Yes.
I don't see how
Oh, yeah, I
it
see it.
should interfere with cliffs, but
You can actually see it going over a cliff.
where?
So look at the middle, and then a little bit to the left. There's a vertical rail that curves across, and it's going over a cliff.
Okay, fine. Because I was about to point out that we had nuclear weapons that couldn't destroy cliffs for over a year. All right, conclusion. Allowing trains to cross paths on different levels has been one of the most requested features for a long time. Yes, it has.
A very long time.
We pulled it out in the pre-post Friday facts that go up on my secondary channel. That it had been requested of Kovarex 6 years ago. And he said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. 6 years ago.
Yes.
He replied and said it was a good idea. 6 years ago. We always felt it made perfect sense, but trains in Factorio would rarely ever get into serious enough throughput issues to justify adding elevated routes. Mojo, do you agree with that statement?
Not really.
Yeah, I've had situations where...
There have been times where I really needed them.
Yeah, I had throughput issues on trains more than once. Yeah. The expansion changed the landscape quite a bit. If we expect players to generally build larger factories than in the base game, train throughput could become an issue. And since you're expected to travel away from a home planet, having a train system that doesn't deadlock would be more important than ever before. You should definitely... Albert wrote this? V wrote this? Who wrote this? V wrote this. V, you should grab Mojo's blueprints. If you use Mojo's blueprints, they never deadlock, providing you use them correctly. I can't account for user error, but Mojo's blueprints.
I can't account for user error either, but most of the time they don't deadlock.
Yep. You just get Mojo's blueprints. I'm waiting for the expansion to come out, and I'm giving Mojo all of 3 hours to have blueprints ready for me. Okay, that's all the time he gets.
Boy.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to pre-prepare a new map.
Yeah, I'm also waiting for a few modders to make, because we're going to have elevator rails now. I want a loop-to-loop, and I also want a corkscrew. And then we can have the roller coaster tycoon sound. All right, it's not hard to guess. Implementers will require a lot of time. Working on expansion behind closed doors allowed us some breathing room, and we can make bigger experiments. Between Boss Kid with the mechanical and Pasilla with the drawing code, just the programming took a few months. On the graphics side, we could reuse a lot of the initial Blender setup from the rework of the ground rails, but didn't get us very far. The ramps were simply large objects, while the rail supports have a hive of optical hacks as they need to fit their collision boxes. Both the ramp and the supports were reworked multiple times, finding that the results would look and function well. Especially because the elevated rail fences required sprite count grew very rapidly. It made me use all the tricks in our Blender book, and even added a completely new Blender Python tools that mostly help with organizing and rendering large amounts of outputs. I finally got the final iteration about 90% completion, and then it just became too much. I know that feeling. You get to 90%, like, I quit, I'm done. Yeah.
The old 80-20 rule.
Yep. Jersey already had experience with the round graphics. We covered that in the previous Friday Facts. So I'd asked him to help me by finishing the last details in texturing, and then he just handled all the signals and remnants again. Oh, I forgot about remnants. They're going to be interesting.
Yes. We haven't even seen remnants.
No, well, we haven't for these rails. We did see some the other week. Yeah. It's hard to overstate how much bravery and mental fortitude was required to just jump into the Blender file of the elevator rails. I'd like to thank him for that again. You can probably see from the above images he did excellently. I can agree. They look awesome.
It's a machine, because he did the from last week I learned that he did all the
final touches on the rail last time as well.
The difficult stuff.
Yeah.
As well. And that was what, 6 months, 9 months?
Something like that. Yep.
Redoing.
Between Arendelle on concept art and me most of the 3D process, a Jersey I'm finishing together with Albert on re-evaluating multiple major iterations. The graphics took about 9 months to make. Perhaps we could have taken some simplified route to try and make tunnels work, but we believe the elevated rails offer far better gameplay beyond comparison. Yet again, we confidently say that properly focusing on some features in the expansion rather than trying to shove more things into 1.0 was a very good decision. I can agree. This is the first one that I'm really excited to play with.
Oh, yeah.
The other things are like, okay, I could take it or leave it or nice to have, whatever. Actually, the whole robots working a little bit smarter.
Well, the smarter bots is definitely good.
It's definitely good, but it's not make or break.
It's not fundamentally game changing.
And then I literally, after saying that on that Friday Facts, I played Seablock again, where I had stupid bots. And I've said multiple times I could do with smarter robots. Yeah. I just...
The mistake was playing C block.
Yeah, it was. All the elevator rails are only available with the expansion executable. Their technology can be researched using production science packs without the need to go to space or any other planet. So we've confirmed that it's production science we can do on Navis.
Yes, and it means that you will need to do them to jump cliffs. Because cliff explosives we know is on
another one. Yeah. But I thought they already said that the science packs are on different... Oh, no, because it's new colours of science packs.
Yeah,
that's
new
right.
colours of science packs.
It's the strawberry and the orange mango and the other one, the watermelon. Yeah. Elevator rails will be one of the standalone... Oh, yes, this is the other one. Elevator rails will be one of the
really interesting
standalone official mods next to Quality and Space Age. So when the expansion 1.2, 2.0 DLC comes out, and you upgrade or choose to purchase it, so you're going to have a Space Age mod that will be
that sits alongside base game.
That will give you the Space Age content. Then you're going to have the Quality mod, which will give you the quality content, or the lack of quality content, all depends on how you took that particular Friday Facts and how many legendaries you want to shove in your back pocket.
It's also interesting to note that is its own separate self-contained mod.
Yeah, so it's going to be that's the other thing. So with that and also the elevated rails, it means you could choose to play Space Age without quality and without elevated rails because you hate yourself, or with quality and without elevated rails because you hate yourself. Yeah,
you could play base game without Space Age and with elevated rails.
That's true. You could also play base game with quality. Yeah. So you could
play space exploration with base game and quality.
Because that's a completely different mod. Yes. So that means, yes, you have a lot more options. So we now have at least confirmed 3 official mods coming out with the expansion /DLC /whatever. Now, I've said it before, and I'm going to mention it once more. We've mentioned that previously over the 2-year gap that we've had in Friday Facts, that I thought it was going to be very, very difficult for a lot of things to exist as part of the expansion that couldn't already be done as a mod. And we have compared Space Age to Space Exploration more than once, but I can definitely say elevated rails is something that we've got a member of the community, Muppet, who has tried to not go elevated. He went tunnels, which is the easier approach in my opinion. And he couldn't get it to happen. It wouldn't happen.
Ran into the same edge case problems that they ran into.
It worked.
I remember right?
Yeah, it worked, but you could he could only go under and back up. There were no curving. Signals were a little bit of an issue. If a train runs out of fuel, that sounds like a user error problem. There was a lot of edge cases he just couldn't account for. And with API updates, etc., he could have maybe fixed those issues. If the devs added that to the base game, but as they control the base game, then it's just not going to happen. So yeah, this is going to be one of those ones. The only way you're going to get it is if you grab the expansion. So that's an interesting change. Also, we need to very quickly address from last week the train tracks. Yes.
Train tracks.
Yep. Because none of these are 22.5 degrees.
Yes.
It turns out, because this goes up 5 tiles and across 1 tile, and then this goes up 4 tiles and across 3 tiles, and that does not equal that. So what are they, Mojo?
26.6 and 18.4.
Yeah, and it's a half a something?
The tangent of a half,
Yeah.
apparently. I'm not entirely sure where where Bosca gets that number from. I'm sure if I sat down and thought about it, I'd figure it out.
Yes, it means that the tracks are slightly different. Yeah, compared to the original. Also means that one half is slightly different than the other half, which also explains, we're looking at the one with the multiple tracks around a circle. The two in the bottom, well, the three bottom right, yeah, you can see that some of them look like they're slightly different lengths, because they technically are.
Yeah.
Because we've got two different angles we're dealing with. So, yeah.
Going by eye, it looked like the ones from vertical are 18 degrees from vertical, and then the tracks from horizontal are 26 degrees from horizontal.
Yeah, sure. That's above.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree with you.
Purely by eye. I haven't confirmed that yet.
Yep. We do have a couple of other things. Just quick FAQs on elevator rails. So, biters can't walk on elevator rails? Nope. Players can't walk on elevator rails? Nope. Can anything other than rolling stock walk on elevator rails? No. What happens if a player tries to get out of a train or elevator rail? He falls to the ground. Hopefully you break both your shins on the way through. What happens if...
damage mod?
Yep. What happens if there is no ground? They can't leave the train. So that means no drowning, which is probably a bonus.
No being trapped on water if you run out of jetpack, like with the jetpack mod?
Yep. What happens if the train is out of fuel? Trains can be pushed painfully slowly by the player if the train is out of fuel now. So that's a nice feature.
Now, is that by a player in another train because they can't walk on track?
Well, if you can get in a train, you can just press the GHF button, whatever it is, to connect the rolling stock together.
Yeah.
And then it becomes...
Just join it and then push it that way.
Yeah. So I'm imagining if a
So
train...
the loco, does that mean it just moves slowly if you push the forward button?
Or maybe... Okay. So imagine if a train runs out of fuel on a normal piece of track, maybe you can just push a train by walking up behind it and pressing the whichever direction to make the train work. Good luck if you're on the 18.4 or 22.6 degree, 26.4 degree thingamajiggy bob. Or maybe if you get into a loco or a wagon, you can then painfully get it to move by Flintstone style. I don't know.
I imagine it's Flintstoning the train. Have to be in there.
Yeah, well, this is all from the Factorio devs. It's the only information we've got because there's been a lot of questions about elevator rails. We have how long is the max distance between rail pillars? Is 20 tiles in a straight line or every 90 degrees angle? And I'm guarantee you that if they've accounted for the 18 point whatever plus 18 plus what 18, but it finally gets you to 90. Even if you snake the rail back and forth. Yep. Can you deconstruct a pillar that's currently supporting rails? Yes, the deconstruction starts with the rails. The pillar is the last to deconstruct. Can robots deconstruct elevated rails? Yes! And they're smart enough to do it in the right order, which is surprising.
Hooray.
But then they have got slightly smarter since, the other Friday Facts. Yes. Can you change levels in the rail planet? That was already asked in the Friday Facts. Yes.
It was, yes.
What happens if the pillar is destroyed? The supported elevated rails and rolling stock are destroyed as well. So if you build elevated rails over your base and biters eat the supports, well, not only are you cleaning up dead assemblers and dead belts and dead inserters, but you're now cleaning up dead train tracks and possibly dead trains from the middle of your production line. Yeah, biters got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to be choosy about using elevator rails in biter territory.
Yeah. So
that can do some damage.
That's a change. Okay. So yeah. All right. I think that's it for the Friday Facts. Unless you got something else? Got something else? Okay. Well, the ghost of destroyed elevator rails is going to suck. Oh yeah. Trains disappearing is going to suck. If you have biters, don't invite the biters into your base. All right, we're going to leave the Friday Facts here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. Come back next week for more Friday Fact goodness. Now it's going to be regularly. And Mojo, predictions for next week. Quickly.
So just before this one came out, I was like, maybe it's the train scheduling stuff, and you know how they're talking about new UI stuff.
Yep.
And then I was like, you know what? They'll probably just throw in something completely left field.
Yep.
So I don't even know anymore.
I'm going.
Yep. Maybe we will find out about the train changing colour. thing?
I think they're going to leave it.
And the UI stuff?
I think they're going to leave it. I think we're going to have not train stuff. I think next week is going to be something entirely unrelated. I want to say it's like factory building something. Okay. I'm still hoping it's biters. I'm really secretly hoping we find out about biters.
I wouldn't know about the biters.
But I think it's going to be some factory stuff. So new machine X. Yeah, whatever that happens to be. But I think that's where we're going to leave it. Anyway, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed. We'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.
Bye.
Okay, done. Yes, dear.
Bye, dear.
Bye, dear.
Managed to get it all in your car, not to.
Okay, cool.
I gotta go now because I gotta put fuel in.
Yeah, no, and I gotta leave in
40 minutes.
All right.
40 minutes.
Yeah,
40 minutes.
Sure, I was gonna say half hour, but I got an extra 10 minutes chat.
You don't have an extra 10 minutes because JD is always late. We know that he's religiously late. So half an hour.
Chat says hi.
Hi, chat.
Split the difference, 20.
I gotta go.
Okay, bye, dear.
I love you, bye.
Love you too. All right.
One child already pulled out.
Huh?
Child pulled out.
I don't understand that statement.
Parent messaged asking.
Okay, that I understand.
No. Parent messaged asking what child would like. I responded. Within 5 minutes, message back saying child now can't come.
Okay, cool.
Bye.
Bye. All right. No, she's not going to slap me because she wants me on time for the party thing that I've got to go to. Okie dokie. Yeah, okie dokie. What? I should reboot up Factorio. It's nice to be
Not sure if happy or angry.
we did. Child has birthday party today. Okay, and I don't know whether you got the last of that, but it was that is definitely the wrong version of Factorio. Our child has birthday party today. I had another parent message Sassy, what does child want for birthday? Sassy replied back, and then within 5 minutes got the other parent said, oh, my child suddenly can't come. Is the party of Factorio intervention for you? No, Glass Eye, I just tried to get Sassy addicted last week. But I did one better. I'm going to go back to the other chat room because that way other people can yell at me. Yes, Discord, I'm sure. This is why I clicked the button. So...
The button helps.
And it's back.
I'm back. Yes, I'm back. I'm still important. I'm back. So, I did the first video on Builderment. Yeah, Builderment yesterday.
Oh, that game.
Yeah, it's an iOS iPad game, it turns out. Gone Steam in 3 weeks. And it's not early access Steam, it's final release Steam.
So the 0.1 version that everyone's been playing is...
Final release.
Final release.
Yeah, it's been on iOS for 3 years or something. 2 years? So, because it's not out yet, I'm assuming a lot of people, I assumed it had gone into early access. But then I went and reread the email, and it doesn't mention early access anywhere. But that's not to say it's not early access, because I get lots of emails from publishers and PR companies and devs themselves not mentioning early access anywhere. Just, we're releasing on Steam, blah, 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 blah. Yes. Jimitar, you new, are you? Excellent. Welcome. You still broke iPad Artist's building by hitting it with an upgrade planner. So as I was saying, play Builderman. And then I installed it on one of the kids' iPads. And then the child got lost for 4 hours playing Builderman.
It's the new Human Fall Flat.
Yeah. They made more progress than I did in 50 minutes. Sure, they were playing for 4 hours, but the child also has autism and ADHD. So literally booted up the game, the tutorial pops up right in the middle of the screen, and they hit the X button. Without even looking at it, just X. They want to press buttons. And then started pressing the button to earn gems by watching ads. And watch like 5 ads back to back. To earn more gems. To get more money. Gems is the currency that's not in the Steam version, because we don't have ads. Yeah.
Surely that's not how ads work.
What? Giving you...
Just shoveling it at child.
Oh, no, there's definitely how ads work. So you see, the game gives you free pixels in exchange for your time, at which point the dev gets 0.000... Actually, it's a lot higher, actually, because they're forced on ads, and then mainly by mobile game companies who sell to whales. Halloween! How you doing? Welcome back for 4-day months. That's another rocket. Oh, we've launched 3 rockets, but I haven't been here. I just got to leave the server running all the time. Problem solved. How you doing, mate? Thank you. Is it free on iPad, iPhone? It is free. Is it the same game? As far as I can tell. Okay, I think the PC version has a larger island and therefore more resources, and it definitely has more settings. And also no ads.
So where are we using the mice?
The mice. You can put them in buildings to make more cats faster. But as we're not launching rockets fast enough,
well, we're not launching rockets because we're high on rats or mice. Everything's backed up.
In this chest.
Yes.
There's 48 in there.
Yeah, and the controller on the cat inserter says if the says more than 48, we're not launching a rocket.
Oh, no, hang on. I just want to put a steel chest there. Cool. Yep. Who put a limit on how many mice we can have? I don't want a limit on how many mice we have. We're going to have all the mice in the world. Go, mice.
I would say I have questions, but I'm not going to question it.
We're launching cats in space because the rocket needs a pilot.
Yes. See? Makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense.
It's like Tesla Rocket Man.
Do we have bacons?
Bacons?
Yes.
Bacons?
Yes.
Beacon.
Because you want more bacons around the silo?
It looks like it's backed up and ready to go. So bacons are required. Go speed module. I got some speed 2s. Yeah. Fuck it. Go there. And there. Cool. Does speed module show up? Not a hope.
Eventually.
Wishful thinking. Oh, I have speed 1s.
We're making speed 3s at the moment.
Yeah. You know the chance of them actually showing up?
Yeah, over a minute. It's 2 a minute at the moment. Basically, the problem is blue circuits, and I'm upgrading those as much as I can.
Cool, Mojo. Your last few streams aren't showing up, by the way. Mojo, what'd you break?
They always come up as unpublished.
Why?
I have no idea.
There's a setting.
There's a bunch of things that have changed, and I don't know how to change it back.
Oh, Mojo clicked a button.
Like, I've lost the ability to do 30-second ad breaks now.
From the quick little bar down the bottom left of the stream manager.
The auto. So, are you set up the auto ad manager to do 30 seconds every 32 minutes?
That's specific.
So now they changed it, and it will only do 1 minute every 30 minutes now.
Okay. So, Mojo needs to have this URL.
URL?
I gotta
URL?
find the Mojo.
That one?
Yeah, that one. You'll probably have to change the user ID because it's probably not going to work with my user ID. But you know, you can try my user ID.
The ad manager. Yeah, I've been fighting that for a while. Well, I was fighting that for like 10 minutes yesterday. Last night.
Okay. So have you changed it?
I tried to.
And it said no?
And so currently it's set to total number of ads to show viewers every hour. 0.5 minutes, giving 1 minute per hour. Ad length of 0.5 minutes.
Send me back a screenshot. Because you're saying numbers and they're not calculating. What's the other one you can't do? You can't set videos public automatically, which is hidden in It's hidden because Twitch has definitely moved everything. Okay. Ah.
Yeah, that one I couldn't find.
Okay, so first thing, Mojo.
Yes.
Reptilian! Thank you for the Bezo bucks. SC plus K2 plus 2864 right in the future. Straight after C-Bus. Reptilian, straight after C-Bus. What is meowing? That's a dumb question. If it's meowing, it's a cat.
Could be a dog.
Actually, no, the puppy dogs finally learned how to bark.
There used to be a joke from the 80s. It was
How do
you make a dog meow?
Not a cat go woof.
So cat go woof is fireplace?
Anything flammable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a cat go meow. Sorry, a dog go meow. Lawnmower? Lawnmower work?
How to make a dog meow? You put it in the fridge overnight and then put it in the bandsaw. Meow.
Yeah, that's the one.
It's terrible.
Okay. All right. So Mojo, you know you're at 30, not 55, right? That's an intentional setting.
It's probably reset itself.
Okay. So you need to go to
This thing is really difficult to fight.
that one, and then scroll all the way bottom. And then when you get to all the way to the bottom, you need to opt in, I believe. So that's step
Well
number
then.
one. Videos.
We've got too much petroleum.
Okay, probably because there's no limit on cracking. There's no limit on cracking. Nobody set it up that smart. Nobody set it up anywhere near that smart. Nowhere near that smart.
So what do I want to do here? Opt into the incentive program?
Yeah.
Doesn't that need like stupid amounts of stupid?
It is the same settings that I have, which is one. It's what is it? 3 minutes per hour.
3 minutes per hour?
Oh, you're at 1 minute per hour. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
at 1 minute per hour. All right. So, Mucky, help! I don't know where the unsubscribe button is. I'm trapped with Jenny. Hey, Mucky, you're enjoying every second of it. I know you are. How you doing, mate? Do you know trains can now go in the sky?
Sky rails.
Yeah, right beside Skynet.
Maybe I will have to bump it up to like a 1.5 or 2 minutes per hour. Just put up with a 1 minute every 30 minutes. I mean, one per hour is pretty low. It's just 1 minute ad is it's a long time to break from the stream.
Well, I've got the 90 seconds with the mini game, so we play King of the Hill.
Oh, okay.
All right. Super excited about that. Because it means you can finally get trains to work properly, because I've seen you work on trains, and properly is not the word I'd be using currently. Yep. Cat. You're now an inventory cat. No, I can't deconstruct a cat. You're an inventory cat too, as are you. And a you. Okay. Mice can go, cat. Oop, cats are now robot cats. Alright, and the other one here Mojo needed was...
It's in stream settings, I found it.
To turn on... Yeah, settings, stream, show broadcast, always publish VODs. Yes.
Yeah, always publish.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, because Twitch moves things, and they don't move things in a logical sense in the slightest.
Because why would anyone want to do that?
Yeah.
That would be silly.
So LDS is going to run out, which is not what I expected. Oh, because we just leached off green sites. Green sites. Yeah, the other green sites. The yellowy green sites. Yeah. Cool. What's the logic of this world? Yes. Yes, this is logical. logically works after 5 different people had a shot at it. You found the problems to go fix? I did. I applied an upgrade planner from a distance. That'll make it run 100% faster? Yep, 100% faster. My train loaders and unloaders are excellent. Apart from all the time that they get deadlocked, Mucky. Apart from that small inconvenient factor every now and then, right? Okay, so whilst I've been Friday faxing, we have lots of prob mods and lots of things. There's actually green circuits. Holy shit, there's actually red circuits too. Holy shit. Except nobody's putting speed modules in the box anymore.
Details.
How are you meant to get faster assemblers? Faster assemblers make speed modules go even faster. And RCUs and all the things go even faster. And then you put more productivity in them. And then you get more freebies. These are important. I like freebies.
If you want LBS, make a train stop.
Holy shit, he came back. The farm decided it didn't need you.
There's not actually that much LDS here, Huff.
There's quite a bit.
Yeah.
Base.
True. Somehow you're out of copper.
Out of copper on the main base, that's for sure.
That's because your smelting is not fast enough.
That sounds like a half issue. Huh? Oh, we have belts and belts of copper just spaghettied in. Yeah, I'm just that's all copper, right? That's all copper. It's copper too. Just everything here and just upgrade that too, and yeah, it'll be fine. But just if in doubt, blue belt. So probots. You know, that way when you get a piece of copper, you'll be more efficient with it. Yes. Not in-game. I meant IRL logic. The Twitch moving things decision. It makes sense to somebody. I'm sure it makes sense to somebody. Twitch has Twitch things, okay? I had my comments and my rants about YouTube doing the YouTube thing where they're removing my ability to have skippable and non-skippable ads. It's just going to be ads in videos, and that starts in November. Yeah. I don't have a choice anymore. They're just removing the choice. Why are they removing the choice? Because a majority of videos watched on the YouTube platform is just set for ads. Why does that matter? Well, because Mr. Beast, who dumps a video and gets 100 million views or some shit in a week, now represents a majority of videos. Or at least a majority of views on the channel. Yep. No. Yep. Last channel update, I had a whole rant about it. Well, I made a comment about it. It wasn't a rant. I waited till I got to Twitch to have the rant about it. Yes. YouTube, as of November, creators no longer have the ability to choose between running skippable or non-skippable ads before videos and during videos. It's just going to be ads. It's just a simple yes, no to ads. They are also adding, which is going to be weird, and I'm going to apologize to anybody who watches my videos and cops one. They're going to have 2 settings. One will be manual ad placement, which is what I do currently. So if you watch one of my videos, you'll get up to roughly about a ad every 10 minutes, roughly the same as cable. But they're skippable ads, so you can click skip after 5 seconds. That's important. And some people have the option of getting all the ads at the start of the video and doing them all at once. And other people, they'll keep every 10 minutes. It all depends. It's a YouTube experimental thing. But they're going to change that so some people will have the manual ads that I've placed. Other people will get auto-placed by the YouTube bot ads. And I have seen 10 ad breaks in a 20-minute video. in my own videos before. So, yeah. I've seen up to an ad every 2 minutes, auto-placed by the wonderful YouTube bots. Yep. So it'll be fun. It'll be great. I'm not a fan of YouTube's ad placement. I'm not either. The reason...
Is anyone?
Well, it's... They detect scene changes. That's how they process it. So they're detecting scene changes. They're detecting a cut and therefore a change of the background or a majority of the screen. So me opening tech wouldn't do anything in Factorio because half it's transparent. But a lots of games where you open a tech tree and it comes up with a completely different screen, that is a scene cut. So that's where they put an ad.
I wonder if that also suits people that just cut in black segments.
Who cuts in black? Who cuts in black segments for ad breaks?
I've seen some videos with please stand by or whatever just to create a cut for ads to run.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that, but then I obviously don't
Red
watch...
Letter Media insert black for ads.
Who what?
Red Letter Media do it, and then they insert it manually later. They tell YouTube to put the ad in where the black is. I think it helps them find it and also break it up.
Why?
YouTube does it automatically. But mistaken.
Maybe that's why they're doing it, because they're lazy, and so they're putting in a three frames of black, and that's the YouTube auto algorithms catching it.
Yeah, it's like a half second of black or a second of black.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're editing the video. Like when I'm editing now, I'm using.
Who is it? Plainly difficult. He goes all out and puts the old analog ad trigger in.
Which is.
That's the little stripy thing. It's the little strobing stripy thing that's in the top right-hand corner.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's really old.
Okay.
There's this thing where the machine that runs. So I don't know if anyone's ever seen the machines that used to run broadcast ads. They're really impressive.
Yeah, you used to be able to get machines that would cut out the ads because they detected that.
Yeah.
So it's within the overscan area of TV.
Oh no, it's in the actual. Oh, it's sort of on the overscan, but it's you can actually see it.
Yeah, but you can see it on modern things, but it was meant to be within the overscan.
So right at the very edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But generally, it was still visible. Like part of it was still visible because it couldn't be right on the edge because it would be distorted and cut off. Because it wouldn't detect it properly because it was very crude. I mean, it's amazing, but also crude.
That's an amazing amount of stone. Yeah. So if you're editing, so when I edit Captain Mystery videos, let's go with Captain Mystery videos. They're probably the one most people are familiar with at the moment. I put in I'll put a link in a video up in the top right-hand corner. So I physically put a marker on the video to, well, I physically import the image of the thumbnail now because I've got that down pat. But at the same time, I will put in a marker in the editing software to remind me at that exact time code that I need to link to whatever the video happens to be. And not so much anymore, but definitely earlier in the series, and definitely when I'm doing shorter dedicated videos, I'll physically put in markers that are in a completely different color to say, hey, I need to put an ad break right here. This is where I'm going to put the ad break when it gets to YouTube. Because, I'll do the edit and then I'll do the upload and the render, well, the render, the upload and everything else, and then 3 hours have passed. So then I just bring back up the editing software and go, okay, that code, and just jump through and type in the ads. At least one can still skip unskippable ads. Well, you're not meant to skip unskippable ads, okay? As a content creator and the main way I get paid, I can say that I prefer it if you didn't skip the unskippable ads. Yeah, because I have a feeling if you skip an unskippable ad, I'm probably not going to get anything for it.
How about install ad block, skip the ads, and subscribe on Patreon? You get more that way.
Yeah, then you get the videos early. Because Captain Street, the next video is already up. It's been up for 24 hours? 12 hours? Something like that. It's already up. It's already on Discord. Become a member, Patreon. Does YouTube Premium do anything for you? Yeah, I get 65, 70%. Shit. A number.
Okay, JD. Replacement oil.
Huff has moved into service providers. So just import things that I want. Cool.
They're already imported.
So yes, YouTube Premium is, I want to say it's 70%, but I think it actually works at about 65 because it's 70% after fees. Unskippable ads are getting me such annoyance in some videos. I've had videos so intertwined with unskippable ads. Some ads and videos. Also not a fan of my luck in getting the long minute unskippable. YouTube knows from your viewing history what sort of ad threshold you will sit through. So
I sent you a link.
Me a link?
Yes.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Leaving Discord.
I can't find it, but somewhere I have a recording of the bill which has it pop up.
So Mojo's talking about this.
Yes.
Sort of marker in the top right-hand corner. I remember that on Australian
That's the
TV.
BBC one. The Australian one, the ABC one at least, was slightly different. It was on an angle.
Was it coloured as well?
No, just black and white.
Okay.
It can't distinguish colour.
Never seen it.
Oh,
It's just looking for that pattern changing at a particular frequency.
Yeah, everybody will have
to see it for like 30. It needs to see it for exactly 30 seconds, and then the thing just springs into action. Kind of cool for stuff that was built in the late 70s.
Oh yeah. A lot of the technology back there was just what effort they had to go through to get stuff to work is amazing sometimes.
Yeah, the only long ad that I actually didn't skip was the entire Lego movie.
Okay, cool. Don't you need to leave soon? I have 13 minutes or less.
Well, technically, you've got to get ready to leave, so technically, you actually have
You
less
should be
time.
gone now.
Yeah.
Shush!
Should be ending in like 3 minutes.
Shush! Let me finish my rant, my thought process, okay?
Never.
That was the 10 minutes that Sassy took from him. That's preparation.
She technically gave me an extra 10 minutes. Woohoo! I researched all technologies. YouTube algorithm is wrong. It thinks I will sit through ads because I can't bloody skip 95% of them. I only get ads on the iPad because uBlock Origin does all the things elsewhere. Well, see, I'm going to say as a content creator, I can officially say this, you suck because I get paid via ads. Okay, the fact that you're getting unskippable ones sucks. I don't disagree. And my suggestion would be YouTube knows your ad threshold, okay? So I've had people make comments on my channel that they're getting more ads than I put in, which shouldn't be possible, but YouTube does YouTube things and does experiments for small percentage of users and doesn't tell those users they're being experimented on because, you know, that would bring bias into the experiment. So there is a chance they're getting caught with some sort of experiment that they're getting extra ads to see if they will blah, 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 blah. And if they log out of their account, they'll get less ads by not being logged in because then they're treated as a unknown user. So there is a chance, Darth, what you need to do...
Just restart the video a few times. It helps.
Yeah, I've been told that helps as well. But maybe, Darth, what you need to do is every single time you get an ad, okay, log out or close that video and then open a new tab with it not being logged into your account and watch it there. And then YouTube will change your threshold. And then they'll hopefully let you be in a situation where you have to watch less ads whilst logged in. or pay for premium. That's another option. And I gotta say, I pay for premium, and it's worth every penny. That's not gonna happen unless people launch rockets with stuff in them. Yep. I just want milk that tastes like real milk. I can't help with that. I do YouTube Premium, no ads. Yeah, I pay for YouTube Premium, and have done.
At least that ad is entertaining.
You got an ad? What was the ad? Well, you shouldn't have got an ad.
No, Darthy. What Darthy said. See, that's at least from when ads were mildly entertaining.
Oh, from ages ago? Yeah.
Yes. From the before times.
Yeah. From before times when everybody watched ads because they're on TV and, you didn't have much of a choice. Back when life was simpler. Yeah, I got YouTube Premium when it was called YouTube Red. And then we had RedTube. And it was so similar. And I just love the fact that I could say that, yeah, I have YouTube Red, and people would raise their eyebrows. They're like, yeah, YouTube Red, That's why you pay for YouTube and you don't get any freaking ads. And people give me a dumb look. I'm like, yep, I also get free unlimited music and this and this and this. Like, oh, okay, that sort of makes sense.
It's not the other videos that they were thinking of.
It was, no. They're free to start with. Yep.
Lower resolutions.
Trust you to know that.
My friend.
Trust you to know that.
Stay a while and listen.
Vigilant. Let's go with Vigilant. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to definitely not ranting about random stuff on Twitch. Might also watch 4 or 5 YouTube videos to pay a day depending. I see the same Google ads on every video. I could play less if there was ad variety. You just need. See, the problem is you're running uBlock. So YouTube doesn't have enough data about you to give you ads that are interesting. So they have to assume that you're a male of the age of roughly blah, 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 which is what basic details they can get about you. And then you get all ads that get served to that category of people.
Get mascara.
Yay, football. Yay, gambling.
Facebook gave me nothing but ads for dating services for years because I'd never updated my profile to say I was in a relationship. So they're like, well, you're male, therefore you probably want, yep. So therefore, we're just going to give you dating ads non-stop forever. All right. And Sassy would look at my account and complain that it was nothing but dating ads. And I'm like, well, I don't use Facebook. This is why it's nothing but dating, because I don't use it. It has no details about me. Yeah. So, yeah, you give Google more of your data. Problem solved. You'll have more ad variety. See, there's a simple solution.
I always find YouTube ads for me always relate to the video in some way, or the demographic of the people watching the video.
Probably because you watch weird shit, Mojo. Let's be honest.
I mean, a bit of that. Like, as I say, recently there was an ad which was clearly watched by a lot of women, so I was getting, I think it was mascara ads.
Oh, that'd be perfect for you.
Yep, just what I always wanted.
Right up your alley. Right up your alley.
There are other times where it's giving me machinery hire places and then pet shops on the other side of town.
Pet shops on the other side of town should be fine.
Because that's a thing that I want.
Pets? Of course you want a pet. See, they know all the basic facts about you, Mojo. Okay? You're lonely and you need a pet. At least then you can say somebody loves you when he comes home. Right? Right? Oh god, these are I
guess.
See? Koalas can't look after pets? Yeah, but they also can't give them coffee. Although Mojo would try.
Koala needs pets.
Yeah, koala needs pets. See? Yep. It
and
knows.
pet says the trouble is the kind of pets I'm thinking of is the the anime petting the anime girl kind of pet.
Oh, okay.
It just went really wrong really fast.
That's all right.
It sounded better in my head.
That's all right. This is exactly what Fox was talking about 5 minutes before the stream started.
No, that actually is a news.
Yes! Yes, Fox. Yes, Fox.
No,
Would you like a shovel so you can dig faster?
Okay, it's Fox's fault.
I didn't believe it either.
It's his fault.
Speaking of,
I've even got half defending me.
That's a problem.
The one I posted in the memes.
No, because I've told you I'm going to apply for Discord partnership at some stage, and if you get me in trouble and you get me knocked back, you're in shit. I believe that was the rule that was set down like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Who wants a
look
Discord partnership?
into the meme channel. There's a good one.
So they keep changing the rules and requirements for what,
the rules
what is
have got
necessary.
the rules have got again, and I'm available to click the button, but I can't click the button because I need to set up new people onboarding something, which is just more shit I've got to look at, and I just haven't got around to it.
Because they don't want that kind of thing as a partner. They want.
There is no way a guy who has this profile
commercial
isn't
stuff.
real deal. Oh my god. Yep. Yeah, they don't want content creators. Yeah, I know. Yep. What time do you need to scoot? Sir Wesley, I have 5 whole minutes or less.
Just 5 more minutes.
Or less.
Sounds like Factorio.
Or less.
Yes,
5 more.
exactly. You got just 5 more minutes.
Or less. Yeah.
Well, no, it's exactly 5 minutes right now.
Yeah. I'm waiting on the boss to bring me more prod mods because nobody bothered to put prod mods in rocket fuel, of all things.
That's cheap.
Yeah, no, I put prod mods in everything else first. Everything else has prod
Been
mods.
waiting for prod mods over here forever too.
Well, see, you're looking for the nice ones. That's your issue. Don't look for the nice ones. Look for the shit ones. And then use an upgrade planner.
I mean, I couldn't even get the shit ones, so I was like, put the nice ones.
But you're doing it wrong. Yep. 5 more rockets. Well, we're up to 18, so we've made some progress. There's also now 372 to launch, so... the rocket count went up by 17. The rockets to launch went up by 150. So we're catching up. Yep. Definitely. Totally. I just, I'll give up on C-Bus because Takabear's gone to bed. And he won't know that I've decided not to do C-Bus tomorrow. That'll be the solution. It'll be fine, right?
No one needs C-Bus.
Oh, it'll
It's sadness and depression.
No, it's getting better. It's getting better.
I mean, you were looking at that junction before, and you're like, "This is sadness right here." But no, I mean, you can have.
I didn't show the one from the other game from the name of the dev that moved away from Factorio. Oh, shut up! There's always more than one job. Putting up with you's half a job by itself. I do. I can clip it and tag him. Oh, that'd be fine. I'm sure nothing would go wrong. Yep.
That's part of the extended Friday facts. That's what the second channel's for.
Yeah, but the last one went up like a week late, but this time hopefully we'll get up faster.
We're weeks behind on VODs. That's normal.
I'm not. They're all rendered and uploaded apart from the second sassy one that didn't, for some reason, get processed by YouTube. Thanks, YouTube. And it's too long for me to go in and remove the first second and then force YouTube to reprocess it. Because that's the normal fix. Yep. So I don't have that as an option. So it needs to be fully re-uploaded. Which is just annoying. I think I've prod modded everything. I think it can have a prod mod, does have a prod mod, it go faster prod mod.
How much prod can a prod mod if a prod mod could?
I don't know, but you're going to have to be asking the same question about quality modules in not that distant future. How much quality can a quality module, quality, legendary?
Yes.
We don't need that, and I don't need that, and I don't need that. And that can go away, and all of that can go away, and that can go away, and
1
that
minute.
Can go away.
One more, 5 more minutes.
What, 5 more minutes? Okay.
Yes.
What? Oh, the spaghetti is intense. That can go away too. Yeah, I think that's...
30 seconds.
Oh, good, you lot it.
Think of it as an insurance
Hello,
policy.
my
We're
friend.
making sure that we don't get
Stay a
blamed.
while and listen.
That's all right. Chill. Even if it was entirely your fault, okay? Entirely your fault. Entirely chat's fault. I'd still get blamed anyway. Okay? Guarantee it. She's as nice to me as you lot are. Okay? Everybody's out to get me. Yes, I do not have a complex. This is real and it's true. And the cats are now caged, except for cat, inventory. Oop. All right, there's another rocket gone. All right, fine. Who are we raiding?
Yes.
Well, Mojo's not streaming.
Nope. I'm doing recording things.
No, you're not. You're procrastinating.
No, it's processing. It's remuxing recordings right now.
Oh, so he's gonna. What he's done is he's set up a queue of like 20 streams to remux, which is gonna take like 8 hours.
Yes.
Okay, cool. He's got 27 hours on the clock, and it says stream starting soon. I hope that actually means stream starting soon. Mojo should be streaming so you can raid. He could be every Saturday morning. He could be streaming and guaranteed a raid. Guaranteed. Yeah.
I do want to get back to Saturday morning streams, but things to do.
Yeah, so he's remuxing so many videos that it's going to take so long.
Yeah, the problem is that I end up having to do the weekday stuff on the weekend.
It's going to take so long that they're remuxed. It's going to take hours and hours and hours. They're finally going to get remuxed. And then when they're finally remuxed, okay, in like 6 hours, the day will be over, so we won't get anything done with them. Because that's what happens when I bulk remux them, because I don't get around to it, and then I finally like, okay, we're going to do a whole bunch. I'm going to do a whole bunch. I'll
So
do
the
3 or 4.
funny thing for me is that it just finished. The hard part is doing the copying. That's the slow part.
Why?
Because it copies onto the NAS.
Oh.
And this one...
You're smarter than I am? Shush. You need to shut up so you can be smarter than I am. FFmpeg should be able to...
1 minute late.
What?
It's too fast. You have to leave.
And you're interrupting me to make it take longer. See, this is the problem I have.
Exactly.
So, Mojo, FFmpeg, you should be able to write a back command that you can drag and drop a file into, and it will remux directly to the NAS.
So I can do that. The problem is the CPU. It'll take even longer.
No, it won't.
Get a Mac.
No, it won't. It's all OBS is doing. A simple FFmpeg
It's
remux.
using 71% CPU to copy at 1 gigabit. Oh, now it's 9%.
By point stance.
It's a i7 2600. It is not quick.
It doesn't matter.
By modern standards.
It doesn't matter. You'll remux and move it to the NAS all at the same time. All right.
And it only has half of its RAM. It only has.
Mojo.
Yes.
You're making excuses. I know you're making excuses. I know you can write the back code for
I can write
FFmpeg.
it. It's just that it will take all days.
No, it won't. The remux is instant in FFmpeg.
You know, you understand the CPU was 12 years old.
Yes, but it does the exact same thing OBS does.
Yes.
Which takes seconds. It's all about writing.
It's just OBS actually does it better.
It's using FFmpeg. You're missing the point, Mojo. Mojo, it's going to save you time, and more importantly, then I can get you the bat file off you, and then I can remux directly to my own NAS. Yes. Yeah, that's a side reason, but I'm trying to save you time as well. But at the moment, we're going to go raid Banlish, who is, in theory, doing a subathon with a stream starting soon. He's been streaming for 9 hours, so...
Oh, he's on now. Oh, he is talking.
He's talking. It looks like he's starting soon for 9 hours now, and he has 27 hours on the clock.
He's actually there, but that's the main thing. It's not just idling at a starting screen.
No, he's actually there.
Go raid.
I have. I've typed in the thing.
Yeah, minus 5 minutes.
Please tell him I said g'day, mate. Meanwhile, I'll be back tomorrow for C-Bus, and then Capital History on Sunday, with possibly a bonus game I'm throwing in that isn't out on Steam yet. We'll see. I haven't got to lining up that one yet. I got to read my emails. But yes, please tell the Bandlish I said g'day, mate. And yeah, I'll go watch his Workers and Resources soon, because I forgot that he did it. Yeah. Yeah, more things to binge watch, and then maybe I'll learn Workers and Resources enough that I can actually play it. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching me. I will see you guys all very soon. And YouTube channel for the real Friday Facts with the edits. All right, bye!
Bye.
Ah, you're far too late. I clicked the button.
Yeah, he ended.
Ah!